Bend the knee.
Hey, what's going on? This is Don Woolley back at you again with another No Frills review for Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 5, Kill the Boy. This one is going to be the non-spoiler review. My spoiler review should be up not too long after this one, so, look out for that, but don't watch that one until you've actually seen the episode. So, I'm just going to, run through scenes that we had real quick and just, my general impression of the episode overall. Now, for those of you who may have had complaints about, some of the episodes earlier from this season, 1 through 4, I don't think that you could really have any complaints about this one at all. Not if you actually like the show, and again, if you're somebody who's read the books, you may notice that they've given certain, other people's storylines or whatever, and they definitely did that this time around, right? So we got the beginning opens up with, the aftermath of what happened last week with Barristan and Grey Worm. And, Dany is now in, kind of in vengeance mode to a certain extent, and she kind of makes the threats against the Wise Masters. And, it's interesting what the resolution from that was, by the end of the episode. Next up, we get Maester Aemon and Jon having a talk, and basically Aemon telling Jon, look, you're the leader of the Night's Watch now, and things aren't going to necessarily be easy for you, and in fact, they're probably going to be real hard because of the fact that you're, the leader of the Night's Watch now versus what things were like before. We get Jon trying to make a deal with Tormund Giantsbane, and we'll see what that might lead to, and that's kind of a change from the books, what Jon is going to be doing later on with that. We also get Jon talking to the Night's Watch about the deal that he made with Tormund, and kind of how they feel about the deal, and who's going to be with it, who's not going to be with it, whether or not they still have feelings, hard feelings towards the Knights, towards the wildlings or whatever. We get a conversation with Jon and Olly, and obviously we know how Olly feels about the wildlings, and while he hasn't expressed his feelings specifically to Jon about how he feels about the wildlings or what he plans on doing with them, I think we kind of get a general sense that, he's not happy about Jon wanting to bring the wildlings to the wall, or how he's planning on doing it, or making peace or whatever, and they've been kind of foreshadowing that Olly pretty much is going to have, is going to be at odds with Jon at a later time. Even though we're not 100% about this yet, it seems that that's where they're going. Next up, we get Brienne and Podrick at an inn just outside of Winterfell in the north, and Brienne is still on her mission to save Sansa. Unfortunately, we don't get much because they just haven't given Brienne and Pod much to do as of yet. Let's see, we get Ramsay and Miranda, and this is the most we've actually got to see them. This is the only time we actually got to see those two talk at any length because we don't really get too many Ramsay scenes by himself anyway. So those two kind of have a chat, and you know, after that, she actually goes to meet Sansa, and she has a surprise for him. And I won't spoil what the surprise is, but after that surprise, we get a dinner with the Bolton family, all four of them. That being Roose, Ramsay, Walder, and Sansa. Soon to be family once she's married to him. What else do we get? We get a nice little chat between Roose and Ramsay, and just how they're going to combat Stannis. And, Roose kind of gives Ramsay a little history about himself that he may not have known. Not about Roose, but about Ramsay, right? Next up, we get Sam and Gilly having a talk, and Sam kind of explaining certain things to her about not necessarily how things work south of the wall, but just the vast wealth of knowledge that she has been missing because of where she has been. We also get a scene between Stannis and Sam, and it's funny, man. Like Stannis has gotten the most scenes that I've ever seen him get, and this is I don't know if this is foreshadowing for anything, but normally when you get scenes from people that you don't normally get to see, and then all of a sudden they're just an abundance of them, that may mean that they're not long for this world. I hope it's not true, because I've actually grown to like Stannis a lot. So, I hope he's around for, much longer. I mean, we only got 2 seasons left. That ain't a lot, but still, I don't want to see him go. Then, we get Stannis preparing for his march to Winterfell. Like him and John discussed, he doesn't have a lot of provisions at the wall. So, he's got to march sooner or later. And, for him, there's no better time than the present. He doesn't want to wait until winter comes. And there's, some other things that happen in that scene that, I'd rather not get into, that could fall on spoiler territory. Next up, we get Missandei and Grey Worm, and I would say at this point it's not a spoiler to say that Grey Worm doesn't die. But they have a talk about some things, and you see their relationship getting a little deeper. And next up we get Missandei and Daenerys. And they're talking about the politics of what Daenerys has had to do in order to achieve certain goals, and whether or not the counsel that she's been given is the best course of action. To which Dany then goes to see his daughter Lorak. She makes him a proposition in order to try to restore order in Meereen. And last but not least, we have one of the best scenes of the show, which is Tyrion and Captain Friendzone himself, Jorah Mormont. And if you see the preview, we get a shot of Drogon, and they're sailing through a part of Essos that most people would never go, and it leads to some dire circumstances for them. And again, I don't want to give away spoilers. I would suggest that you watch the episode definitely, because you don't want spoilers for what happens with I would say like the last 15 minutes, especially. Out of everything else, you definitely don't want spoilers out of anything from the last 15 minutes of the episode. Listen, I would probably give this one probably about a 9.5 out of 10. They had a lot of stuff in there from the books. You know, again, they've given stuff to different characters, and just the fact that for the changes that they have made, the changes that they've made, I think make sense for what they're doing in particular. And yeah, man, you know, you already know the drill. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Come back for more. That's been my time. Don Willie. I'm out.